Yesterday, after failing to qualify for the very first debate, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez essentially ended his campaign yesterday, the first to drop out of a field which is now down to 12 candidates as we get closer to the primaries this winter. Joining us now for analysis is former advisor to President Ronald Reagan, Republican strategist Ed Rollins, back with us. So good to see you, Ed. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. How are you this morning? Great.
So I just want to get your reaction to Francis Suarez dropping out of the race. And do you expect that number to grow before the second debate, which happens in September?
I think most of the ones that are in there are going to try. If they qualify for the debates, they'll stay in. The thing that drives the people out of races is money. And the reality is you've got a couple candidates who have their own money, but the vast majority of them basically got to go raise money. And I remember when I was doing Mike Huckabee's campaign, we'd have to open the envelopes after we won Iowa, see if we had enough money to get to New Hampshire, and see if we had enough money to go beyond, and we didn't. So money is a key. The key critical thing here is that the debates play a role, but not the critical role. What plays the role, especially in these early states, is the organization.
Yeah.
When you go into caucus states, like now we have 2 of the 4. Iowa's always a caucus state. It has 40 delegates, and the critical thing about delegates, it takes 1,236 delegates to be the nominee out of 2,470. So when you go into Iowa, there's 40 delegates. They're not even all picked on the night of the caucus. Half of them are picked at a convention 3 or 4 months later. So a lot of it is the spin, a lot of it is the impression. New Hampshire has 22, Nevada has 26, South Carolina has 50. And there's 876 on Super Tuesday, which is the day that Trump has to go to trial. So he has plenty of opportunity to really seal this thing,
right,
if he gets the campaign up and his structure and what have you. My sense is there's 2 organizations that are solid. Ron DeSantis has the best political guy in the world, and David Polansky for Iowa has won everything in Iowa. He's the deputy campaign manager now. Basically, the Trump campaign is much better than it was 4 years ago at the ground game.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is you walk into a caucus, and it's not a secret vote. You basically line up on one portion of the, so it's neighbor versus neighbor.
And you put your hand up, right?
Your hand up, and you line up in a corner of a firehouse or a school, and people know you're for Trump or not for Trump, and there's a lot of going back and forth. I thought you were for Trump. I thought you were for DeSantis. Come over here.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, but you don't. So there's a lot. It's really organization.
Ed, a couple things I want to cover here. I'm going to read you a list of names because this is where we are right now. So these are all the candidates running for that GOP nomination so those are the candidates that are in the race. This is a list of candidates that are at or below 1% right now. Asa Hutchinson, Will Hurd, Larry Elder, Perry Johnson, Doug Burgum, who was on with us yesterday. As you see it, and you've been at this for a long time, going all the way back to Ronald Reagan, do any of those names have a path to the nomination at this point, heading into the fall, again, 5 months away from the Iowa caucuses, and there'll be a lot of debates between then and now?
Absolutely not. I don't see anybody on that list making the long run. My sense, I see Nikki Haley staying in until at least South Carolina, Senator Scott staying until at least South Carolina. Christie will be New Hampshire. If he doesn't win New Hampshire, he's pretty much out of it. And then it comes down to DeSantis, Nikki Haley, and probably Trump. The rest of them don't get any mileage. If you don't have them on your show, you're not going to have them on their show if they don't do well in the debates.
Yeah.
They're not going to be a factor.
Okay, let's talk about Joe Biden. I'm wondering if you think he's going to be the nominee for the Democrats. Rasmussen out with some fresh polling this morning, and this number, Ed, shocked me. 36% of Democrats want Joe Biden to be primaried by Gavin Newsom. What do you make of that?
Well, I think there's for an incumbent president, he's very weak, and he's been weak since the get-go. Just that picture right there. Every time you send your candidate out on an event, you want him to star. And I would assume people have my old job, the White House political director, they gasp every time they send him out.
Yeah.
They're worried about falling down. They're worried about what he's going to say. He clearly is not a confident.
What happens, Ed? Let's say he falls again. What happens?
I think there's a real effort to get him off the ticket.
Yeah.
The problem they have Kamala Harris there, and they can't just dump her, and she will basically challenge anybody to Newsom and others who want there'll be a primary, and the quicker he gets out, the better it is for everybody. But my sense is he's going to hang on as long as he can.
Okay. Ed Rollins, appreciate you being with us this morning. Thanks so much for breaking that down. A lot to talk about, as always. We'll do it again soon. Thank you.